This isn't just a comeback story of Shedeur Sanders. This is revenge on the entire NFL.
Granted, he was a fifth-round quarterback, but prior to the NFL draft, what was Shedeur Sanders' projection? They don't want to talk about that. No. They don't want to talk about the projections before the draft. Shedeur was supposed to have been the number one pick. We do understand this, right? I mean, the whole time leading up to the NFL draft, this young man was projected to be number one. Now, for whatever reason, which I don't want to ruffle any old feathers or open any old wounds.
Yo, before you scroll past this video, I need you to stop. Because what I'm about to tell you is something the NFL, the Cleveland media, and every single analyst who wrote Shedeur Sanders off does not want you talking about. This man was supposed to be the number one pick in the entire 2025 NFL draft. Let that sink in. The number one pick. And somehow, 143 players got called before his name. 143. And now, in 2026, the Cleveland Browns are finally getting ready to hand him the keys. And I'm telling you right now, the haters are about to get the most painful wake-up call in NFL history. Hit that subscribe button right now, because when Shedeur Sanders proves everybody wrong this season, you're going to want to be here for every single second of it.
Video, man, looked like we finally got some positive news coming out the city of Cleveland in regards to Shedeur Sanders. We know this whole offseason has been nothing but negative stories and pretty much saying how Shedeur Sanders need to improve this, look at the numbers, and all of these different said things. Well, at the Todd Monken interview yesterday, many people in the Cleveland media that was there and pretty much confirming to the world that Shedeur Sanders, more than likely, about 80%, is going to get a first shake. Now, we know last year he ain't get that first shake, man.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Man, I've been covering Shedeur Sanders since day one, and I want to say this is the moment. This is the video I've been waiting to make. Because after months of nothing but negative stories, nothing but he needs to improve this and look at his passer rating and every other narrative they've been pushing all off season, we finally got something different coming out of Cleveland. Something real. Something that actually makes sense. Todd Monken, the new offensive coordinator, came out and basically told the entire world that Shedeur Sanders is going to get a fair shake in 2026. Not a backup role, not a wait your turn situation, a real, honest, legitimate competition. And based on everything we're hearing, Shedeur is the front runner to be QB1 when that week one whistle blows. So today, we're breaking down exactly what's happening, why this is bigger than people realize, and why every NFL team that passed on this young man is going to regret it for the next decade. Let's go back to where this all started, because you have to understand the full picture to appreciate what's happening right now. Before the 2025 NFL Draft, Shedeur Sanders was not just a projected top 10 pick, he was the consensus number one quarterback. Experts, scouts, analysts, they all had him as the guy. 74% completion percentage in 2024. Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. Second team All-American. The man put up 4,134 passing yards, 37 touchdowns, and only 10 interceptions, running for his life behind one of the worst offensive lines in college football. And then draft weekend came, and something happened that nobody can fully explain to this day. Round 1 passed, round 2 passed, round 3, round 4, teams kept picking. Quarterbacks with worse tape, worse numbers, and worse resumes kept getting called. And Shedeur sat there, waiting with his family, with cameras on him, the whole country watching. And he sat there with class, with composure, and with a quiet fire burning inside him that I truly believe is going to make every one of those teams pay. The Cleveland Browns finally called his name in round 5, pick 144. They actually traded up in the 5th round just to get him because the GM knew the value was too good to pass up. And when that call came through, Shedeur celebrated. He jumped in the pool because that's who he is. He doesn't fold under pressure. He finds a way to make the moment his own.
Todd Monken, because he's a no bullshit coach, he's going to give Shedeur that first shake because it's only right. Shedeur, out of the last 7 games, he won 3 out of the last 7 he started in. Damn near half. Mind you, he did not get a chance to practice with the ones. He didn't get any first team reps. He did this just on GP. and went out there and won the game. Now, somebody that's been really close to Shedeur, like Emmitt Smith, he dropped a new clip about Shedeur too, was speaking that, see, a lot of people speak about these quarterbacks and these different players.
But then the season started, and instead of getting a real shot, he was put on the bench. No first-team reps in practice, no real preparation time with the starting offense. And yet, when he finally got his chance starting in Week 11 after Dylan Gabriel went down, what did he do? He won football games, 3 wins in 7 starts, with no practice reps with the ones, just on pure talent, pure will, and pure love of the game. Now here's where it gets real, because the people closest to the game, the people who have studied football their entire lives, they see exactly what Shedeur is. Emmitt Smith, Hall of Famer, one of the greatest players in NFL history, came out and said something that every single doubter needs to hear on repeat. He said Shedeur Sanders will become a very, very good quarterback. Not might, not could, will. And Emmitt explained exactly why. He said Shedeur is more cerebral than most quarterbacks in this league. He doesn't just rely on his legs or his arm strength. He thinks the game. He finds the man-to-man matchup. He reads the defense before the snap. He throws with accuracy and velocity when it matters. Emmitt compared him to Patrick Mahomes, pointing out that Mahomes isn't a pure scrambler either, but he always finds a way. That's Shedeur. That's exactly who he is. And now Todd Monken, who actually wanted to draft Shedeur when he was with the Baltimore Ravens, is his offensive coordinator in Cleveland. Think about that for a second. The man who wanted him is now in position to actually develop him and put him in the right system to succeed. That's not luck. That's God's plan working exactly the way it's supposed to. Tony Rizzo on Cleveland's OE Sports Radio said it straight. There are a lot of haters out there who are about to eat some serious crow, because Shedeur already finished the year with 2 division wins. Division wins. That means he beat teams in his own division where everybody knows your tendencies, your plays, your weaknesses, and he still walked out with the W. You want a great QBR with 1 win, or you want wins? Because that's the only question that matters in the NFL. Todd Monken said it himself. He is trying to win, period. And based on that roster, Shedeur Sanders gives the Cleveland Browns the best chance to do exactly that.
Options, bruh. And I'm telling you right now, if Shedeur get hot like I think he gonna get hot and be in MVP conversations, I don't know what the future holds 3-4 years from now. Well, 3 years from now. Because Shedeur Sanders is a proven winner, bro. Like, y'all can feel how y'all want to feel. Y'all can say what y'all want to say on these damn microphones and on y'all little podcasts. But one thing I can tell y'all for sure is Shedeur Sanders win football games.
But let me talk to you for a second, not just as a football fan, but as somebody who has watched this young man's journey from the very beginning. Shedeur Sanders has been dealing with things that would break most people. Before the draft, somebody actually got hold of his private phone number, the number the league gave him to receive calls from teams, and a prankster called him pretending to be an NFL general manager, telling him he'd have to wait a little longer. On a live stream for the whole world to see. That was the son of an NFL defensive coordinator, and the league had to fine the Atlanta Falcons $250,000 because of it. Think about the mental strength it takes to sit there, knowing the whole world is watching, knowing you're sliding for reasons that have nothing to do with your ability on the field, and still hold your head up, still celebrate when your name finally gets called, still show up to a high school the very next week to inspire kids, still walk into that Browns facility ready to work. That's character. That's the kind of person you want leading your football team. And the crazy part? Even through all of that, even after being benched behind guys who got picked ahead of him, even after not getting first-team reps all season, he still made the Pro Bowl. As a replacement, yes, but he made it. He became the first Cleveland Browns quarterback to make the Pro Bowl since 2008, in year 1, with no support system around him and the entire media against him. Imagine what this man is going to do when he actually gets a fair shake. So here's where we stand heading into 2026, and I want to be very clear about this. Todd Monken is not a coach who plays games. He came into that press conference and basically put every single Cleveland reporter on notice. He's not interested in the drama. He's not interested in the storylines. He is there to win football games. And he has publicly stated that the best quarterback is going to play. That's it. No politics, no narratives, just performance. And when you look at that QB room, you've got Deshaun Watson, who just got medical clearance, but hasn't played real football in years. You've got depth guys who haven't proven they can win in this league consistently. And then you've got Shedeur Sanders, 24 years old, hungry, motivated by every single slight, every single doubt, every single person who said he wasn't good enough. Which one of those quarterbacks would you want going into a season where Cleveland needs to prove itself? The answer is obvious. It has always been obvious. And I genuinely believe that 2026 is the year Shedeur Sanders shuts the NFL up for good. Not just starts games, not just looks decent, but gets hot, puts up numbers, wins games, and gets Cleveland fans actually excited about football for the first time in a very long time. Look, I've said from day one that when Shedeur Sanders gets a legitimate opportunity, he wins football games. That's not hype. That's not blind loyalty. That's 4 years of college football, 2 programs, 134 touchdowns, and a 70% completion percentage telling you exactly who this man is. Now, Cleveland is finally ready to let him cook. And when he does, and he will, every analyst, every reporter, every team that passed on him 144 times is going to have to look into that camera and admit they were wrong. Drop a comment below. Do you think Shedeur Sanders is going to be Cleveland's starter in 2026? Let me know. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Hit that button right now because we are going to be covering every single move Shedeur makes this season. Don't miss it. I'll catch you in the next one. Shake the haters off. We out.